Our focus at Equal Access Carriers, EAC, is 5G edge computing at wireless towers. And we are at this presentation because we believe that this is essential infrastructure for smart cities management and change. The core infrastructure for IoT sensor management is already here. It's wireless towers with 5G edge resources. Missing from most of the towers right now are edge computers, but that's where we think it's going, and that's what we're focused on. But low latency 5G at the tower is the last mile for service delivery. It's the last mile for talking to sensors and IoT devices. Wireless tower covers really most cities. So the footprint is there to start doing the job as soon as the job is there. And then edge computing matched it to these towers and wed to 5G brings the data closer to device and users and at really high speeds. Most towers, we've been working with a lot of tower companies, can house 1,000 or more edge servers at their towers. And so again, our contention is that 5G edge computing is the key to IoT and sensor management for smart cities. Okay, change. Thank you. Uh-oh, other direction. So we've got a couple things we want to address with 5G edge. Smart cities need simultaneous monitoring of millions of IoT devices. This is a very unique capability of the 5G emerging technology. This is requires high reliability, low latency communications. If you're going to run a smart city, you want it to be in real time. We can splice the spectrum into millions of channels and make smart monitoring possible. And then because of all the data, AI-based monitoring systems are essential. They also need to operate at the edge because that's where all the data is coming. And local data storage and analysis at the edge is also imperative. And so distributed cloud centers with direct connection to fiber and 5G are where we think this is going. Next slide, please. Also important at the edge and with these technologies is secure access for the IoT and sensors. We believe the secret to that is a crypto secure distributed ledgers. We think the IoT and the sensors all needs to be addressable, needs to be highly secure, auditable, and they need lifecycle management. So secure conditional access to all the devices is required. And we operate the security under a zero trust, never trust, always verified. And immutable ledgers keep the history of all the individual IoT and sensor device activity. Again, very key critical functions for this at the tower. Next. We have, as a lab, we have a state-of-the-art tower in North Carolina, and right next to a university with a computer science department. We have put edge computers at the tower. They're installed to fiber and to now to 5G services. We have major carriers at the tower who are aware of what we're doing, and they are customers of ours as well. And we've got the personnel to do it. So we have a lab to test all these things that we are building. And there are 5 million towers worldwide like ours that can actually use whatever configurations and applications, everything that can be built to this model. Next, please. So we're doing a lot of research and development at this point, and we're doing it because we are kind of a weird mix of entrepreneurs, academics, and innovators. In fact, at this point in time, we have 21 granted patents for the work we're doing, and we have over 44 peer-reviewed papers that are applied to the technologies that we're working on. Some of our patents have been licensed to Apple and Microsoft and others for security. And so we're focused on some technologies that seem to be disparate, but we believe they all go together to make a system like this for smart cities. Next. One of the technologies, we call it sentient computing software. It's a self-managing network environment that almost acts like the human body. It's AI driven. It's our contention that if you're going to have huge edge clouds married to these smart city environments, you're going to need a new type of network management. And so this is what we're working on here. We've had a lot of publications on this, and we're working with several universities on this piece here. And everything I'm getting ready to tell you, because we don't have much time, if you want any more information on the papers or the academic stuff around this, I'll be glad to give you the links to them. Next. We also have patents that relate to IoT, crypto-based IoT access, authorization, control. This is basically sort of a blockchain technology, but not really. It's built to be more fast and commercial, and it's built and not deal with cryptocurrency. It's literally designed to assign and give conditional access to every IoT device and monitor what its activity is. And we believe that this has really got to be a part of whatever we do with smart cities. Next. Again, some of our patents cover this distributed ledger piece. I won't get into this too much. Again, if you want to read some of the patents and the papers about this, but this is also the core to what would be happening in an environment that we would be creating in these edge computers at the tower. Okay, one more. Core to what we're doing is a new type of AI. It's a kind of a structured AI. They're based around knowledge structures. They're basically structural machines. They instead of running machine learning, we are teaching the AI everything we know about domain-based content. It's an ontology model, and it streamlines the ability to look at anomalies and red flags and anything that can go on in a smart city environment. This is a way for the AI to work with incredible efficiency and not be burdened by a lot of the processing that traditional machine learning type environments provide. And again, this is another whole thing that a lot of papers have been working about. In fact, one of our main research partners in this is UCLA Math Department. Again, I'd be glad to get you more material on this if you ask for it. But these four main technologies blend together for an edge computing environment that can be deployed at any tower. One last thing. Change.
Hey, Chip,
Yes.
30-second warning.
Okay, great. The global market, there's 5 million global towers. Right now, they're making all their money just renting space to carriers for them to be able to add edge computing, not only to run applications at the edge, but to run smart city applications is a brand new revenue source for them. And so our target is the tower companies. We've already been working with some of them. They know what we're doing. And we think it's going to be a great new revenue source for them down the road. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chip. Open up the floor to questions.
Okay.
I'll go first. Kenny from Google. Thanks for the presentation. The technologies that you showed, I'm trying to map these to your business case and services that you provide to your customers. Are there, sounds like it was a mix of academic and also, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Have you developed that business strategy that how these technologies can feed into your business model and how you sell the product?
Well, it's a software development model for the edge computers. It's a management system that allows them to use the edge for a variety of things. One might just be as a CDN. The other, though, specifically because we're talking about smart cities, is a platform that can manage IoT devices and sensors and shuttle the data around. And the big key to it is 5G technology, again, being the last mile. If you're going to run big edge clouds and you're going to run federated AI and these kinds of things to manage smart cities, you better have a good way of managing that network of edge computers. And very interestingly, most of these towers have line of sight on other towers. So things like fiber and the kinds of stuff you need to move data around, It doesn't have to be to every tower. They can share the data via line of sight of, ironically, 5G dedicated signals. But our business model is to sell software for these boxes, either as a service or a license, so the tower companies can provide these services to their customers in these various cities. So it's a software licensing, software as a service model.
And then the features will be provided based on that model you have, depending on what
Yes,
the
sir.
customer.
Yeah, and again, it's right now we're mapping out the whole the MVP. We've done this before. The business that we were in that created a lot of these patents that were licensed to Apple and other was called the DRM business back in the day. We were one of the first DRM companies. So the reason why we ended up with a lot of these patents for this sort of hybrid blockchain was that we just kept writing DRM style patents, and we kind of think this is like DRM 2.0, but DRM 2.0 works very, very well in managing IoT and sensor access and control. So we do know that piece pretty cold.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful. Harry, you have a question also.
Yeah. Is there any particular partnerships or technologies that you're focusing on as far as the edge compute hardware or specific 5G antenna protocols that work well with your solution that you're focused on for partnership?
That's a great question. Well, we're already in partnership with some universities that are doing relevant research, like the computer science department in NC State University under AirPaul is studying drone management with 5G. So we're right in the middle of that. We're supplying them resources on that. Several other universities working under grants are also we're supplying access to our tower and our edge computers to also test their capabilities. But on our team, which I didn't include in the slide deck, but I'll be glad to, we have a guy who's one of the major antenna experts in the world, Lawrence Baer, Dr. Rao Milliken. He is the sentient computer kind of originator. He's out of Golden Gate University in San Francisco. I guess the best way to put it is the academic part right now is probably our prime partners. Being at the tower and having that hardware, companies like Ericsson and anybody that's making hardware for 5G, they're interested in participating in this. Part of our model is to give them free space on our tower to test their equipment, and so that we can actually, as we develop our product, understand what the needs of their various pieces are as well. So the tower is a real a magnet for partners to participate in this thing.